It's Saturday, 3rd of October. My name is Davey.
My name is Michael.
My name is Josh.
My name is Chris.
And this is Queerocracy.
So this week we decided to do a sort of Q&A, but since nobody sent in questions, we made up our own questions to ask each other and get answers to, whether they be personal, being personal, being about being gay, whatever. We try our best to answer them. So let's go start with the Q&A.
Chris, have you been anywhere outside of America?
Davey, yes, I have been somewhere outside of America. I took a trip to Canada twice. The first time was to Banff, which is somewhere on the west side of Canada. Don't remember which province, but it was a really stupid flight because we ended up going down to Denver and then back up to Canada, Denver, Colorado, which is stupid. But anyways, and the second time was a trip to Toronto with my dad for our family vacation. Josh, what, if anything, influenced your position on not having sex until you're 18 and have a boyfriend?
Okay, Chris's question. My stand on sex is whenever I first realized I was not straight. I didn't really have anything, like a reason to stop me from having sex, and I guess it's just like this moral thing that has like built up from my childhood, probably from my parents or someone, but I needed to think of a reason why I still could not have sex at such a young age, because whenever I was straight, there was always the risk of pregnancy, so that was out of the window, and so I decided to think of another reason. As I thought of it, I realized that as a teenager, I'm hormonally driven, and the opportunity of sex could lead me to making some bad decisions because I'm thinking with other parts of my body besides my brain. And that's how that came to be. And it'd have to be with a boyfriend, of course, because if it was just some stranger, then I could not trust him. And yeah. Mikey, what's one thing you have to always have with you, and why?
Okay, Josh, one thing I always have with me is a pack of cigarettes because I smoke frequently. And yeah, that's probably why. David, where's the beef?
Wouldn't you like to know? Josh answered this one very carefully. Vampire ninjas or werewolf pirates?
I would have to go with vampire ninjas. Ninjas are a whole lot cooler than pirates, times a million. But going with the vampire werewolf part, if you're looking at the Twilight series, Taylor Lautner is like 5 million times hotter than Robert Pattinson. And then there's the actual like mythical tales. Vampires are cooler than werewolves, because werewolves are all dirty and grungy and not cool. Okay, Chris, if you had to name one thing in your room, what would it be and why?
Josh, if I had to name one thing in my room, it would definitely be my computer, because my computer is my life. If I did not have my computer, I would go insane. Literally. So, if you want me to name one thing in my room, it would probably be, my MacBook, which I'm recording on, and my whole desktop I've got set up here. Yeah. Mikey, if you have come out already, what was the reaction of your family and friends knowing? If you haven't, what do you think it would be?
I Well, my family reacted to me being gay pretty well. Like, my mom didn't really care too much, and she's very supportive, and my stepdad doesn't really care anything about me too much, so guess that doesn't really matter. So, as for my friends' friends actually like they accept it, but acquaintances from peers from school, I should say, I received a lot of harassment for a while until like about a year later, and then it was fine, so whatever. Josh, how would your family react to you being gay?
My sister already knows that I'm gay, and she took that very well. My brother, I don't think he would mind it either, but I haven't told him. Um, my mom, for some reason, she was under the. Um, for some reason, she had thought that I had told her that I was gay already, but I don't know where she got that idea. And she was okay with it during that time period. But then I told her that I wasn't because I don't want her to know anything about my life, but that's a whole different story. And then my dad, I'm not quite sure about him. He, whenever I'm asking him about the subject, he'll say, I don't really care as long as they don't get it up in my face. And his, like, thing is, it's not my life, so I don't really care. But if I were to be gay, I don't know how that would change his whole standard on it, since I'm his son, so I don't really know. But I think he'd be okay with it. Davey, if you could live the life of someone else for a day, who would it be, why, and what would you do?
I would have loved to be Julius Caesar on the Ides of March. And what would I do? I would obviously try to survive. History would have been very different if I'd been making the decisions then. Mikey, what song are you learning to play right now?
I'm currently trying to learn the song Nautical by Protest the Hero, but at the same time, I'm also writing a song, and I'm trying to learn to play that as well because the way I write it on the computer, and then I learn how to play it afterwards. Well, actually, usually it doesn't always work out like that. Like, I'll come up with a riff when I'm actually playing guitar, and then I'll write it down on the computer, and then usually from there, I develop the song primarily on the computer. And then I learn the rest of the song from then on. Chris, how's Kmart?
Kmart, I haven't actually had a shift there yet. I did the orientation and I did the 5 hours of videos I had to watch, but we didn't kind of watch them. We turned down the volume and made up our own words so they'd be more fun. I have to go in on Tuesday for the computer training part, so I'm hoping that none of the questions from the videos are on the computer training because I'll fail. Just saying. Davey, what made you first realize that you were gay, and was that prompted by anybody in your life or anything that happened to you?
Actually, it was mostly self-discovery. I was 8 at the time. Well, earlier, I think. And it wasn't really a discovery. It just kind of, I just knew. You know? Yeah, self-discovery. So I didn't really need anyone else to explain it to me. Um, I guess that's how the modern world works, is that kids kind of find out this information sometimes from the wrong places and a lot of the times very inaccurate. But I came out okay. See what I did there? Yeah.
And that's it.